I never thought the bustling streets of Silicon Valley would feel so suffocating as I paced back and forth in that dimly lit coffee shop. The aroma of freshly brewed espresso surrounded me like a warm blanket, but there was nothing comforting about the chaos churning in my mind. I had just been unceremoniously fired, stripped of my title as senior vice president, and tossed aside like yesterday's news by Jordan, the cocky CEO who thrived on cutthroat tactics. What an idiot, I muttered, under my breath, clutching my laptop tightly. The screen flickered to life, revealing the legal documents I had memorized. I could still feel the sting of his last words. "You'll never make it without me." But did he even bother to read my contract? Because hidden in those pages was a clause, a golden ticket that could change everything. A familiar voice broke through my haze of determination. "You good, Alex?" Nay, it was Mia, my best friend and the tech genius I could always count on. She slid into the seat across from me, her blue eyes sparkling with concern. "Not really? I have 24 hours to lock down a $2.6 billion deal. And I'm going to show Jordan just how wrong he is," I exclaimed. I could sense her unease. She fiddled with her phone, fingers dancing nervously over the screen. "Just remember, this could get messy," she warned, her voice low. "What if the board finds out about that clause? You'll be painted as the villain." "Maybe it's time to be a villain," I shot back, adrenaline coursing through my veins. The clock was ticking. I could feel every second slipping away, the stakes rising higher with each beat. "Okay, let's do this," Mia said, determination replacing her doubt. Together, we dove into the world of numbers and contracts, navigating the digital landscape as if it was a high-stakes arena. But in the back of my mind, a question lingered. What skeletons lay hidden in Jordan's closet? Before we continue with this surprising revelation, a quick alert for you who follow our stories. YouTube has been removing subscriptions lately, so check if you're still subscribed. And don't forget to drop a like to support the channel. Now, back to the crucial moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the city, I couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. What secrets did Jordan hold that could tip the balance in my favor? The thought sent a shiver down my spine. I had to find out before the night ended. Scanning the digital documents stretched across my laptop screen, I felt the familiar rush of adrenaline pulse through my veins. It was almost poetic. Just 24 hours earlier, I'd sat in that very same chair, a powerhouse running a multi-billion-dollar tech firm. Now, here I was, an outcast plotting revenge in a coffee shop, as the world outside seamlessly continued its bustling dance. The stakes had never felt higher. Mia leaned in closer, her eyes narrowed, the flickering candlelight capturing a spark of determination. "You think you can find something on Jordan? Something to hold over him?" "I have to," I replied, my mind racing. If he thought he could just erase me without consequences, he clearly doesn't know who he's dealing with. He didn't read my contract's clause, but he underestimated my resolve. Mia pulled up a few news articles, her fingers flying. "Let's see what skeletons we can dig up. The tech world isn't exactly devoid of scandal after all." I peered over her shoulder, scanning the headlines. Investments in questionable startups, aggressive takeovers. Wait, what's this? My heart skipped. An article detailed a recent investigation into Jordan's questionable business practices, a shady deal involving a company known for its dubious practices. This could change everything. If we can prove he's been playing fast and loose with ethics, the board might think twice about keeping him as CEO. Suddenly, Mia's phone buzzed, interrupting our intensity. "It's a message. From Liam." Her voice hesitated. "He's still close with Jordan. He knows what's going on." "Liam? Your contact from corporate," I pressed. a mix of excitement and dread coursing through me. Yeah, but she hesitated, her eyes darting around. If he's feeding information to Jordan, we could be in trouble. My heart sank. We have to work fast. I'll reach out to him and play it cool. If we can gain his trust, he might spill the dirt we need. Mia nodded, but I could see the uncertainty linger in her eyes. Just be careful, okay? We don't know whose side he'll take. With every passing moment, I felt the tension build. The clock was ticking. Every second counted, every breath felt precious. Just when I thought I was gaining momentum, an unsettling thought loomed in the back of my mind. Could my ally turn into my worst enemy? Stay tuned, because as the digital clock blinked ominously, our plans would twist and turn in ways we never expected. Would Liam prove to be a valuable asset, or would I be staring down the barrel of betrayal? The fate of my $2.6 billion dream rested perilously in the balance. As I paced the dimly lit coffee shop, I could feel the weight of my decision pressing down on me. Liam's name echoed in my mind like a mantra, a double-edged sword that could either carve my path to victory or cut me to shreds. The adrenaline coursed through my veins, boosting my resolve, but with it came a creeping doubt. What if he throws you under the bus? Mia murmured, glancing nervously over her shoulder. Her tech-savvy instincts were always sharp, but when it came to loyalty, ambiguity ran thick in Silicon Valley. You need to stay one step ahead of him. Right, just like chess, I replied, forcing a smile. But the truth was, this was a game of life and death for my career. If I can get him on my side, we could gather enough evidence to take down Jordan. Mia nodded, her fingers tapping rapidly on her phone. Just remember, trust is a rare commodity here. The moment he senses weakness, he could flip the script. Taking a deep breath, I messaged Liam, keeping it light yet strategic. The seconds ticked away, each moment amplifying the tension. Hey, long time no chat. Got a minute? I'd love to catch up on the latest in the company, I typed, my heart racing. Good idea, but play it cool, Mia warned, peering at my screen. Moments felt like lifetimes until the reply came in. What's up? I'm busy, but I can spare a second. Relief surged through me. He was responsive. Let's meet up? I have some intriguing insights I want to share, I suggested, feigning casual interest while secretly weighing his potential for betrayal. As I hit send, the air crackled with palpable anticipation. Is this really going to work? I thought, staring at my screen. Suddenly, a sharp vibration jolted me back to reality. Liam's response. Okay, let's meet. Tomorrow morning at the Marina Cafe. The Marina Cafe, an upscale joint where suits mingled over small talk and baristas brewed victory lattes. Just then, I caught sight of a familiar figure entering the coffee shop, Jordan. My breath hitched. Was he watching me? Or was this a mere coincidence beneath the bright neon lights? Either way, I needed to keep my head in the game. Time to move, I whispered to Mia, my heart pounding. As I gathered my things, I couldn't shake the growing anxiety that Shadow's betrayal brought. Tomorrow, I'd walk into a web of uncertainty. Would Liam help me expose Jordan, or would he choose loyalty to the man who had tossed me aside? The thrill of the chase ignited something within me. The clock was counting down to my next chance for redemption, and I couldn't afford to let fear take the lead. But the true question loomed large. How far was I willing to go to reclaim my future? Join me as this tangled web tightens and the stakes arise. Tomorrow could change everything. Or it could cost me the remnants of my career. Make sure to hit that like button if you're curious about what happens next, because you won't want to miss the twists and turns on this wild ride. The chill of the morning air kissed my cheeks as I approached the Marina Cafe, the place where high-stakes conversations often began and sometimes ended with shattered dreams. I had slept restlessly, my mind racing with the possibilities of the day. Would Liam be my ally or my betrayer? With each step, I felt the familiar rush of adrenaline surging back, propelling me into the unknown. As I pushed through the glass doors, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wrapped around me like a comforting embrace. But there was nothing warm about the knot forming in my stomach. Scanning the cafe, I spotted Liam in the corner booth, a cup of steaming espresso grasped tightly in his hands. His features were obscured slightly under the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat, but his posture emanated an air of confidence mixed with a hint of tension. I steeled myself and approached the table, forcing a casual smile onto my lips. "Hey, thanks for meeting me," I said, sliding into the booth opposite him. "Sure, what's on your mind?" He leaned back, his eyes narrowing slightly as he scrutinized my face for any signs of weakness. I had to tread carefully. "I've been running some numbers on the upcoming tech initiatives. Thought I might share some insights. You know, rumors are flying around and everyone's talking about changes in the board's direction." A flicker of interest crossed his face, but he quickly masked it. "Is that right? What kind of changes?" "Well," I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice as if we were sharing state secrets. "I have a few undisclosed details that could drastically affect our approach, especially with Jordan at the helm. If he's not paying attention—" "Jordan always pays attention," Liam interrupted, his tone sharp. "There's a reason he's still at the top." "Exactly," I countered, my heart pounding. "But maybe we can leverage his weaknesses to our advantage. If he's been cutting corners—" "Are you sure you want to go down that road?" Liam's gaze pinned me in place, an unsettling mixture of caution and intrigue swirling in his expression. "Look, I'm not here to play games. I need your help," I admitted, the weight of desperation creeping into my voice. "If there are any uncertainties about Jordan's dealings, we can expose him. It could change our standing with the board." Liam stared at me, his expression unreadable, the silence thick as we battled for control of the moment. "What do you think I'm missing from the picture?" "Information," I replied, my pulse racing as I played my cards. "I've seen his patterns. He's careless. Just look at the recent negotiations. An oversight now could shift the power back in our favor." "What's the endgame here, Alex?" His question sliced through the tension in the air. "Are you looking to reclaim your position or take him down for good?" "Both," I confessed. "I want what I deserve back. But I also believe everything he's doing is wrong. It's unethical." Now, Liam leaned in, the curiosity igniting in his gaze. "And risking everything for that fight? What if it all falls apart? You know how this game works." I nodded, feeling the gravity of my words sink in. "That's why I need a partner in this. I can't do it alone." He studied me, and for a flickering moment, I saw the hint of something familiar. An old camaraderie, perhaps even genuine concern. "You want my help, huh? It won't come for free." "What do you want?" "Nah," my voice sharpened, ready to negotiate. "A seat at the table again. Some influence, some control in decision-making. When Jordan goes down, I don't want to be left holding the bag." I bit my lip, weighing his proposal. While I had wanted to keep my loyalties straight, I had no choice but to take that risk. "Okay, we'll do this together. But let's focus on the plan first. And if we pull it off, it's a win-win, right?" Liam nodded slowly. "Fine, but if things go south and you're left standing alone, I'll look out for my interests." Before I could respond, a familiar voice pierced through my thoughts. "Alex, there you are!" My heart sank as I caught sight of Jordan, striding toward us like a predator about to consume its prey. Why was he here? How could he so effortlessly invade this space? I shot a glance at Liam, who raised an eyebrow, preparing to follow my lead. What a coincidence, I said, forcing a smile as Jordan approached. We were just discussing some innovations for the next quarter. Is that so? His tone dripped with skepticism as he surveyed us. Liam, I thought you were in the loop. Is there something I should know? A nervous silence washed over the table, but I regained my composure. Nothing that concerns you, for now, I replied flatly, putting on a facade of confidence. Jordan scoffed, clearly unimpressed. Well, I hope you're not thinking of anything that might disrupt the progress we've made. The company doesn't have room for distractions. Distraction, I echoed, fighting to keep my tone neutral. All I'm saying is we need to stay one step ahead of the game, especially now. Game? He smirked, and I could see the challenge in his eyes. Let's not lose focus here, shall we? Keep the chatter flowing, and let's see where it takes us. But just know, I won't let you sabotage the future. And just like that, the air turned electric, tension simmering as I faced the man who had cast me out. As he walked away, victory swirling in his wake, I turned back to Liam, feeling a mix of determination and apprehension. What just happened? He asked, brows knitted. You're aware he means business. This isn't just blame shifting. It's a minefield. I know, I responded, a burgeoning fire igniting within me. But now, I'm even more motivated to bring him down. We have something he doesn't. Knowledge. As the realization sank in, I leaned forward again. Let's outline the plan. I'll get you what you need, and we'll uncover everything in the process. Are you ready? Liam nodded slowly, a newfound intensity in his expression. I haven't felt this alive in years. Let's take the game back. Tomorrow would be a pivotal moment. The dance of power was set to escalate, and as the clock ticked down, the real battle began. Are you curious about how I'll maneuver through the minefield of deception and betrayal? Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the final chapter of this thrilling saga. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. The dawn broke over Silicon Valley, casting a warm glow on the city that had felt so cold just 24 hours prior. As I stood at the rooftop of my apartment, sipping my coffee, I couldn't shake the feeling that today was my day. The day I would reclaim my power and drive Jordan into a corner he couldn't escape. Mia's voice echoed in my mind, her warning of potential betrayal still fresh, but I pushed it aside. I had made my choice to ally with Liam, and now we were in this together. I glanced at my watch. The meeting with the board was only a few hours away, and there was still so much to do. Are you ready? Mia texted, her words betraying a hint of anxiety. I smiled to myself, texting back quickly, as ready as I'll ever be. The plan was set. We would present the evidence of Jordan's misdeeds, exposing him for the unethical practices that had clouded his rise to power. It felt surreal that I was about to confront the man who had everything, and yet I was about to strip him of it all. Arriving at the boardroom, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. I took a deep breath as I entered, finding Liam already seated among a few board members, the tension palpable around him. As I approached, he gave me a slight nod, reassuring in its subtlety. Good morning, everyone, I greeted, gathering their gaze. There are some critical insights that need to be discussed regarding our future strategies. Jordan smirked, leaning back in his chair. Insights? Surely you don't think we should entertain those from someone who voluntarily stepped down? The board shifted uncomfortably, sensing the brewing storm. I glanced at Liam, who gave me a silent cue to move forward. Actually, I continued, there's more at stake here than you realize. I have evidence that reflects poorly on this board's direction and on you personally, Jordan. The room turned ice cold and the murmurs began. Evidence? What are you on about? Jordan's voice rose, but I could see the cracks beginning to form in his confidence. I took a deep breath and pulled out the documents Mia had helped compile, detailing Jordan's questionable investments and shady dealings. This is not just about your leadership. This is about integrity. If the board supports unethical practices, the company's future is at risk. The board members exchanged glances, the disbelief on their faces morphing into dawning realization. Jordan's eyes narrowed, panic flickering just below the surface. Liam opened his mouth to speak, and the tension in the room shifted. Jordan, which is more valuable to you? A short-lived reign built on deception, or the long-term success of this company? Then, something extraordinary happened. One of the board members, previously an ally to Jordan, stood up. We can't ignore these allegations. Jordan, we need to investigate this. The walls that had once felt so strong began to crumble. Jordan's face hardened as he glared at me. This was my victory, and he could see it. You think you've won, Alex? This isn't over, he spat, storming out of the boardroom. With his departure, the tension eased. I looked around the room, and a shared sense of purpose shimmered in the eyes of the remaining board members. We had crossed a threshold, and I felt liberated. Let's discuss a plan moving forward, another board member suggested, turning to me and Liam. As I shared my vision for a more ethical future, I realized that I had achieved what I set out to do, not just for myself, but for the entire company. This was a revolution sparked by conviction and fueled by integrity. The meeting concluded with nods of agreement, and a sense of pride settled within me. The walls that had once held me back had fallen away, paving the way for a new beginning. As I walked out of the building, my phone buzzed with notifications, a storm of support from friends, colleagues, and the tech community. But as I stared at the screen, one thought raced through my mind. What comes next? For now, I was hell-bent on rebuilding what was lost, turning lessons into renewed strength. It was time to move forward, not with revenge, but with purpose. If you've enjoyed my story of twists, tension, and triumphant moments, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey as I navigate the complexities of trust and ambition, because this is just the beginning. You won't want to miss what lies ahead.